Welcome back, everybody, to Gonzo, Mike, and a VCR. I'm Gonzo.
I'm Mike.
We're going to review another movie today, Michael, and we've got another super fan. Can you believe it?
Oh,
So,
it's fantastic.
yeah, it's crazy, man. So, um, we're going to go ahead and introduce this movie is, and I went over this a lot of times. It's not Hunger Games, it's The Hunger Games. You have to include the. We have a super fan of the movie we're doing, The Hunger Games. Her name is Jenna. Jenna, introduce yourself. Tell us how you came to be a super fan of The Hunger Games.
Hello guys, I'm Jenna. I I really like the genre of like dystopian kind of movies, and that back in when the Hunger Games came out, that was like the biggest thing back then. They loved to put out dystopian movies. So I thought I didn't read the book beforehand, but
Oh,
I did know about it. So a lot of people talked to me about how good the book was, and I'm like, okay, um I like movies better. So I decided I'd go watch the movie. So
okay.
and I just really liked it. So
Okay, very good, very good. I thought for sure you were going to say, "Oh, I read the book," because
I did too.
sort of like the Hunger Games series, the Harry Potter things,
Mhm.
the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings. A lot of these fans are the book readers first, but that's interesting. So,
I read the
all
book
right,
after
there you go,
after the
there you go. So,
yeah.
what did you like better, the book or the movie?
Oh, the book has more detail.
Okay.
So I do like the books a lot, but I like the action of the movie just all put together.
Very good, very good. Well, we are glad you're here with us today. So we are going to get started. Is everyone's cell phone silenced?
Yes.
It is.
All right, very good. In this episode, we're looking at it's 2012. Look, there's that word for Jenna. Dystopian action film, directed by Gary Ross, written by Ross and Suzanne Collins. It's based on Suzanne Collins's 2008 novel starring Jennifer Lawrence, The Hunger Games. This thing grossed 695.2 million at the box office against a budget of 78 million, so it did pretty well. Roger Ebert treated it pretty nice, Michael. He gave it 3 out of 4 stars,
Hmm.
saying it was effective entertainment.
Effective.
Yeah, he praised Lawrence's performance, and a guy from Newsday named Rafer Guzman, he said this was darker than Harry Potter and more sophisticated than Twilight. So, got some awards here. Lawrence won the Saturn Award for Best Actress, Broadcast Film Critics Association Award for Best Actress in an Action Movie, Empire Award for Best Actress, and she was nominated for the New York Film Critics Circle Award for Best Actress. So all the awards really focused around her, plus the song "Safe and Sound" by Taylor Swift and the Civil Wars. This thing won a Grammy, and it was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song. I got to tell you, I watched this movie to prepare for this thing, and I was like, "What song? I don't remember any song."
I don't remember a song.
So, all right, this thing's 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now we know Jenna's a guest and she's the super fan, so we're not going to make her do extra work here. We're going to have Mike. Hopefully, you're ready, Mike. You're usually do pretty good at this. Explain the plot as quickly as you can for those who haven't seen it, and also for those maybe who haven't seen it in a while. All right, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. This is a long movie, so hopefully I can get this down to about 3 minutes. But so the Hunger Games takes place in like we said, the dystopian nation of Pan Am, where the wealthy capital rules over 12 poor districts. Years ago, these districts rebelled and then lost. So to remind everyone who's in charge, the capital created the Hunger Games, hence the title of the movie. This is an annual televised event where each district must send two teenagers, one boy, one girl, to fight in a deadly arena, which is like a giant biodome, if you can picture that, until only one survivor remains. So our story follows Katniss Everdeen, played by Jennifer Lawrence, who is a skilled hunter from the poorest district, District 12. She lives with her mother, her younger sister Prim, played by Willow Shields, she basically protects like a second parent. So when Prim's name is drawn at the annual reaping, Katniss doesn't hesitate. She volunteers to take her sister's place. She's sent to Capitol alongside District 12's other tribute, Peter Mellark, played by Josh Hutcherson, who is the baker's son. And they're guided by their mentor, Hamish Abernathy, played by Woody Harrelson. He is the only living Hunger Games victor from their district. And Hamish quickly explains that surviving the Hunger Games isn't just about fighting, it's about winning over the audience because you can have wealthy viewers watching the broadcast who can sponsor tributes with food, medicine, supplies, those kind of things. So before the games begin, PETA drops a bombshell during a televised interview hosted by Caesar Flickerman, played by Stanley Tucci, and PETA admits he's been in love with Katniss for years. So Katniss initially assumes this is just a strategy, gain sympathy from the audience, though it becomes clear PETA might actually mean it. So when the games finally begin, chaos erupts almost immediately. The tributes are released into a massive outdoor arena centered around a pile of weapons and supplies, which is called the cornucopia. And within minutes, several tributes are already dead. So Katniss grabs a pack with a few essentials. She escapes into the forest. Not long after, she's soon hunted by the career tributes, or they are competitors from wealthier district who trained their whole lives for this moment. It kind of put me in mind of like the Spartans. So
Mm.
these included Cato, played by Alexander Ludwig, and Clove, played by Isabel Furman. And at one point, Katniss is forced to climb a tree to escape them. But then another tribute, a young girl named Rue, played by Amandla Stenberg from District 11, helps her by pointing out a nest of deadly tracker jacker wasps above the careers. So Katniss drops the nest on these careers and scatters a group, allowing her to grab the weapon that she's been using her whole life to hunt in the outdoors back home, a bow and some arrows. So later, Katniss teams up with Rue, and the two form one of the most emotional alliances in the film. Together, they sabotage the career's food supply. But that victory is short lived because Rue is caught in a trap and killed by another tribute. So Katniss shoots him and stays with Rue as Rue dies and sings to her. Maybe that's that song we're talking about. She sings to her and surrounds her body with flowers. The moment becomes a powerful symbol across Pan Am because, like we said, this all these games are televised, and it even begins to stir unrest in the districts. So back in the Capitol, the game makers, led by Seneca Crane, who played by Wes Bentley, announces a twist. Two tributes can win this year if they're from the same district. So we kind of see where this is going. So hearing that, Katniss sets out to find Peeta. And when she finds him, he's badly injured and he's camouflaged near a riverbank. Katniss hides Peter in a cave and nurses him back to health while the two play up that star-crossed lover story for the cameras. And when medicine is offered at the cornucopia, Katniss risks her life to retrieve it, barely survived an encounter with Clove before another tribute, Thresh, spares her life out of respect for what she did for Rue. Eventually, only a few tributes remain. The game makers release terrifying creatures that reminded me of giant pit bulls
Yep.
that drive out the survivors toward the cornucopia for a final showdown. So Katniss and Peeta face the last remaining opponent, Cato. Katniss shoots his hand, allowing Peeta to throw him down to the giant bulls below. And after a brutal struggle, Katniss finally shoots Cato with an arrow so he doesn't have to suffer anymore from that attack. But just when it seems Katniss and Peeta have won together, the Capitol suddenly reverses the rule change and only one victor is allowed after all. So instead of turning on each other, Katniss does something totally unexpected. She pulls out a handful of poisonous nightlock berries and suggests that she and Peeta both eat them. And if they die, the Capitol will get no winner. So this is a strategy. So faced with that humiliation, the Capitol backs down at the very last second, and the announcer declares Katniss and Peeta the co-victors of the 74th Hunger Games. So Katniss and Peeta return home as champions, but it's clear the story isn't over. Katniss' defiance has angered the most powerful man in Pan Am, President Snow, played by Donald Sutherland. So while the games may be finished, the rebellion they've inspired is only beginning, and we know that because there are at least four sequels that followed this initial movie.
Mhm.
All right, man. So, anything to add to that, Jenna? How
No,
do
that
you?
was pretty accurate.
All right, very good. So, yeah, you did a good job as usual, Michael. And
Well,
it is
thank
a
you, sir.
long movie.
It is.
You know what you said in there? I'm going to say this, and I know you're a super fan, Jenna, but I'm going to say this anyway. Listen, when you actually were doing that, you said when the games finally begin. I'm like, this thing's called the Hunger Games. We're not starting the damn games till like it's been an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's killing me. It's killing me. All right, though. All right. So, um, obviously, Jenna told us when she first saw this movie, you saw it back in 2012. That correct?
Yeah, I think I saw it in the movie theaters actually. I was a
Okay.
little young to be
Okay.
watching it, but I still saw it.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So, and obviously, you told us that you loved it. So, Mike, had you seen this movie before your watch prep for this episode here?
Yeah, this will give you a little take on how I felt about the movie because my wife and I saw it back in December 2018. There was a special on this movie and the sequel, so we actually bought the movies, the rest of the movies after we saw the first one. So yeah, it's been what 8 years
Okay.
since I've seen it, something like that.
And what was your first take back then? You remember?
Uh, I remember we liked the plot enough. We ended up buying all the movies on sale on Amazon, watched them all. Not the same day, of course, but over the course of the next 2 or 3 weeks. I remember I liked the gist of it, but I do remember thinking, even though I liked the movies, you know how there are some movies, even when you're watching, you're like, man, I could watch this again and again.
Yeah.
Even though I liked the story, I do remember thinking if this may not have the rewatch factor, at least for me, that a lot of other movies have.
Okay, okay. So for me, I know it's funny for a lot of these movies that we're reviewing, since a lot of them are 80s, 90s, and I've still got a huge collection of DVDs. So I text my son. My younger son's at college, and I'm like, "Do we have this?" Because there's so many to look through. I don't want to look through, but he knows the library, right? So I texted
Mhm.
him, "Do we have the Hunger Games?" He was like, "Yes, of course." And so I went and I found it, and that the first time I saw it was on DVD. So whenever it came out, I remember my sons liked it, and of course they're like, "Oh, Dad, can we buy this movie?" Or maybe my wife bought it, whatever. So
Yeah.
I had it. Um, uh, so I watched it once on DVD when we bought that DVD,
Mhm.
and have not watched it since. My first take back then, I thought it was pretty predictable story. Takes way too long
Mhm.
to get to the games. That's what I want to do here, right? It's like I understand the gist. Bunch of kids get into there, they're going to kill each other. It's like Last Man Standing. Let's get started already, right?
Yeah.
I think this movie's too long though. I remember thinking it back then. So I just feel like it's 142 minutes, right? So
Yeah.
I think in fact I took a picture of how long it was on the back of the DVD and I texted it to Mike and said,
Mhm.
"Oh my God, I can't believe I have to do this." So all right, so we're going to go over the main characters. There's a lot of characters in here. I generally pull the main ones because we can't sit and talk for 5 hours, because this isn't a Joe Rogan episode, right? So that where they go 4 or 5 hours. So
Sure.
main character, the primary players here of the game. First one, Katniss Everdeen, played by Jennifer Lawrence. Mike, how do you think she is in this role?
Yeah, Steve, she's really not in our generation, of actors, actresses. So I have not seen a lot that Jennifer Lawrence was in, but just from this, and I know we're not really going to get into the sequels, but just from this movie, she very impressive to me. I think she was in her early 20s when she played this. So I totally bought into this character, the way she played it. The district that she came from, and I know Jenna has read the books now. I have not read the books. The district she came from really reminded me of West Virginia,
Yeah.
coal mine country. If you've ever traveled to those parts of the state, even though I think this is supposed to be a fictional place, I don't know. But in terms of Jennifer Lawrence, I think she was paid $500,000 for this role. And the movie did so well. I mean, we know all about all the sequels. She was paid $10 million for the sequel.
Okay.
Also, she was born in Kentucky, and this isn't would be an area that would have been reminiscent of District 12 that she represented.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Jenna, how do you like her in this part?
I love her. I think she does phenomenal, and she does phenomenal in the other ones too. I think she's built this character to what it is today, and people know her from this more than anything else. I think she's been in a few other things that I've seen. I've seen this movie called Passengers. It's like a futuristic. They're on like a, she's with it, and Chris Pratt's in it, and they're like the last two people alive. I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
She's also in this like spy movie. She's like I forget what
Oh
it's
yeah,
called.
Red
Like
Sparrow.
Red Sparrow. Yeah, she's like a
Yeah.
Russian spy or
Oh,
something like that.
really?
Was that
Yeah,
good?
it was good. It was good. Silver Lining Playbook. She's in that, I think, or something like that. So
Hmm.
she's been in a few things that I've seen, and I just truly think that this was like her best role. I think she's embodied this character.
Yeah, I think when you think of her, the first thing you think of is the Hunger
Yeah.
Games, right? So,
Mhm.
yeah, I thought she did a great job. Believable as the reclusive, sort of really loyal to her family, nature loving young lady who's she's out there in nature. Like I totally believe she's spending a lot of time in the woods and she's hunting squirrels and stuff. And
Mhm.
that's how she gets good. Like it's totally believable. I didn't know of any other roles for her, like any of those movies you just mentioned. Um, uh, I either haven't seen or if I'd seen them, I didn't recognize that it was her. I feel like the spy movie that I have seen it and I probably didn't put it together that it was her because she sort of had a different look in there. So,
Yeah,
um,
Mhm.
but Mike, you're saying West Virginia and
Yeah.
and District 12. And guess what was on cable yesterday for those who still watch cable? I sure as heck watched Next of Kin.
Oh yeah. You ain't seen bad yet, but it's
it,
coming.
it's Swayze and Liam Neeson are brothers in that. So, so all right. So we're gonna move on. I don't know why they don't just do it right and call this guy Peter because this is
Yeah.
what they want to do, but they're trying to be different here.
They're going to make his whole life difficult.
Peter Mellark, played by Josh Hutcherson. Jenna, how do you like this character? Is this a good character here? Does he do a good job?
So I'm not the biggest fan of him in this one particular. He's a grower. Like he like grows on you as the movies go on. This one is he I don't know. At first he kind of annoyed me, but then towards the end I think it's you see him kind of uh get out of his shell a little bit. At first he's kind of like deprecating himself. He's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna win these. I'm not gonna do it."
Mhm.
It's kind of annoyed me. I'm like, dude, like at least give yourself a chance, you know? And he's like, I'm automatically no, no. Um, but I do like him towards the end, and and as the movies go on, I really like him. I've seen him in Bridge to Terabithia, of
Yeah,
course.
Hmm.
As a kid, he started as a kid
yep.
actor. And then I saw him in this movie also, which is a very like niche movie. It's called like Zathura, and it's
Mhm.
kind of like Jumanji, but up in space.
Oh,
They play this game, him and his brother, and his older sister, who's played by Kristen Stewart. Um, and they play this game, and things start to like happen up in space. Their house floats up into it's a really wacky movie, but I
yeah.
really enjoyed it as a kid, actually.
Okay, okay. So, Michael, what do you think about PETA, which should be Peter?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought being a super fan, I thought Jenna and I would be worlds apart, but she kind of had the same take I did, at least in the beginning, because I think he did a good job for what it was. He played it kind of flat, but I feel like that's who this character was. And he had a real melancholy vibe about him. Like Jenna said, he was like this self-deprecating, like, oh, I'm gonna die anyway, and I don't have a chance. But I mean, I guess that's who the character was. Um, something I thought was entertaining, trivia. Jennifer Lawrence was playing around on the set, and she kicked Josh Hutcherson in the head, knocked him out, and gave him a concussion.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
Sure.
thought, well, that's interesting. And Josh apparently was also born in Kentucky. So I'm like, well, the chances of that, the two main
Yeah, that's
characters.
yeah, wow. So yeah, I think he does a good job acting here. I totally question his it's funny you guys brought that up. I was questioning his judgment. I think he's a jackass once the game starts and
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh, I'll just go along with with the other people with Kato and them, that crew. I think that whole crew of bad people, the bad guys there, it's just really Kato. He's the leader.
Mhm.
He's the one who makes it to the end. So, but you're right. If I think back and say, because now I've seen this movie twice, right?
Mhm.
So I didn't like it that he was like, even though you're like, well, that's the only way he could survive, and he wanted to keep alive, and he was going to lead them away from her, whatever. He's working with them because he's being wimpy. And at the start, you guys point out, yeah, he's like not believing in himself. I don't
Mhm.
know. Maybe it's I don't know, but yeah, I remember him from Bridget to Terabithia. That's
Mhm.
the only thing I remember him in.
Mhm.
Mike, do you know that movie?
I did. I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
Yeah, the reason is because like
It's so sad.
it's
Mhm.
like I wouldn't know about it at all if I didn't have kids,
Yeah.
at the time because it's for like a movie for kids, right? So,
Mhm.
all
I
right,
used to pretend that I was in a like bridge to Terabithia with my sister. We had like this little wooded area, and then we'd like pretend it was like a land or whatever. It was so
yeah,
funny.
pretend you're going into a different sort of
Yeah,
world, right?
yeah.
Very cool, very cool. So, sort of like the Lion and Witch in the Wardrobe type of
Hmm.
deal, right? That's the idea. So we're gonna move on. Very small part by Amandla, and it's Amandla
Hmm.
Stenberg. It is Rue. Mike, how do you think of this small part? But it's small but important, right?
Oh yeah. No, I think everybody acting in this movie has unusual names. I'm not sure what's going on, but no, very good performance from such a young actress. Like you said, it's a small role, but like some movies, uh, even if you're in the movie 5, 10 minutes, depending upon the character and the role, your presence can be felt throughout the whole movie. So even after she gets killed, she becomes an inspiration, one of the inspirations for you can see this movement that's starting to play out. So I don't think I've seen her in anything else, but I thought she did a very nice job with this.
All right, very good, very good. Jenna, what did you think of Rue?
I love her. I think, um, like Mike was saying, it does really set up for that future rebellion that is the start of like the people stand in the district standing up for each other because no one wants to see like this little girl die, and how her relationship with Katniss was in it was
Mhm.
just it just felt like she was her sister, like
Yeah.
she's protecting like her little sister. It was just very, very sweet dynamic between the two of them. And I have seen her in a few things. She's in like this apocalyptic movie. I forget what it's called, honestly. Darkest Mind. I don't know what it's called actually. And then she was in this thing called Everything Everywhere or something like that.
Oh, all at once, something
All
like that.
I don't know. Yeah, one
Yeah.
of those things. Yeah, I've seen her in a few things, but nothing like too big as much as this role.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I thought for this very young person, nice role for the small part, but important part. I love how she points out she's the point, not the wasp nest, right? Like the whole
Hmm.
Mhm.
time you're up in this tree, tied to the tree by a rope, trying to get some sleep, you don't see this huge thing. Well, okay, whatever. It took Rue to point it out, and that really changed it. So I had not seen her in any other roles. I did notice looking her up a little bit. It shows her as a musician as well. So
Yes.
she's involved in music too somehow. So um, all right, very good. She did a good job. Moving on to Kato, played by Alexander Ludwig. This is the main bad guy. Jenna, what do you think of Alexander Ludwig and his job here playing the bad guy?
I think he does a good job. He plays that like he's always have a like a smoldering look on his face whenever he's looking at people trying to
Mhm.
intimidate them. And I mean, he's part of the careers like Mike was saying in the in earlier. And so they've been training like their whole lives to be a part of this, and they're the volunteers. They actually volunteer. The District 1 and 2, they volunteer to be part of the Hunger Games. Unlike Katniss, who volunteered out of for her sister. But I think he's a very dislikable character, which is what you're
Mhm.
supposed to do throughout it. So he plays that very well. the only other thing that I've probably seen him in is the show called The Vikings, actually.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So he's in that, and he's pretty good in that. He's a very he plays a lot of those villainy kind of characters, or kind of those like gritty characters very well.
All right. Very good. Very good.
Mhm.
Michael, what'd you think of him?
Yeah, not a bad job at all, but if I had to pick one main character that I felt like any number of actors could have done a good job with this one, this would be the role. And again, I don't think he did a bad job. I will say he is the Cobra Kai in the Hunger Games. This is Johnny Lawrence or one of
Okay.
Cobra Kai
Okay.
dropped into the Hunger Games.
You know who it should have been? It should have been the real mean guy. Remember we talked about Karate Kid, and
Uh-huh.
the one guy who said, oh, I forget his name, but the one really crazy guy in Johnny's crew that was
Uh-huh.
he's just a bleach blonde kid. Oh man,
Yeah.
I forget his name. I forget his
Where he
name.
says, "Oh, look, it's Danielle."
Yeah. So yeah, he would have done a good job here too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought he did a great young bad guy. Like Jenna's
Mhm.
right on his smoldering looks.
Yeah.
Like he's just looking like he's always judging everybody when they're training, like looking
Mhm.
over there like weak. That guy's weak. He's the heart of the bad guy group. I do remember him. He had a part in Lone Survivor.
Mhm.
I don't know. He was like the new Navy SEAL that was fresh out of Buds, who was and he had to get in front of the platoon when they were in like Afghanistan and say this whole frogman like poem, and if he didn't remember it, like they were gonna like
Mhm.
give him crap for it or something. So
Oh yeah.
but I haven't
Getting
noticed him.
hazed.
Yeah, I haven't noticed him in too many other things. Oh, he did a good job here.
Yeah.
I mean, decent, right?
Sure.
So main characters. uh this is Katniss and Peeta's support is how I labeled this. We're going to start with Elizabeth Banks, which is she plays Effie Trinket, and this is sort of their handler, right? For the District 12 people. How do you think of her besides the crazy makeup job, Jenna? What did you think? How did you think Elizabeth Banks did here?
She is like one of my favorite characters from this movie. I absolutely love her. I Even though this movie is supposed to be like dark, and like there's like horrible things happening to these kids, she puts like a light in it. She's very funny. She has those like little little comedy things here and there, like they stuck the knife in the or Hamish stuck a knife in the table, or it was Katniss or one of them.
Yeah.
And she goes, "That's mahogany," or whatever
Yeah.
for the table. And I love her little one-liners, and I think she's just great throughout the whole entire movie.
Awesome.
Um, I've seen her in Pitch Perfect as a commenter. I love Pitch Perfect. I know you guys did that one already.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes, she's in that. She's also going to be in this new show. I don't know if it's come out yet, but she plays like this guy like shrunk her. Like her husband shrunk her
Oh
into like this
yes.
little doll into the dollhouse, and she plays
That's
like the wife.
her. I saw like a preview for that or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
gonna be
that's
like a
her.
streaming show.
Yep, I
Hmm.
think it's gonna be on Prime or something like
Okay.
that. I'm
Okay.
gonna have to watch that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
love
Okay.
her.
Yeah. All right, Michael. How do you like Effie Trinket?
Yeah, I agree with Jenna. She was good in the role. She was a little almost unrecognizable because she had
Yes.
so much costume, makeup on. Uh, I like the way she played the role because, like Jenna said, she had a lot of funny parts, but then for me, there was also this underlying fear that you could feel in her performance because she was smiling on the outside, but there were these moments when you knew everybody better stick to their script because what'll happen if you don't in an authoritarian state? Because you could see her nerves when Katniss was kind of veering off track toward the end of the movie, and she was like, you could tell she was thinking, "Oh God, President Snow is watching. Uh, I'm going to have to answer for this," because she was kind of their handler.
Yep. Yep.
So I thought she was really good. Yeah, she played both sides of it, funny and dramatic.
All right.
So
All right. Yeah, she did nice work. I didn't even know it was her, because we just
yeah.
did Pitch Perfect. And then I read about her. I was like, oh, that's the lady. I said she did good in Pitch Perfect. She's funny in that. Um, this one, it's funny because you could tell like the whole time she's trying to be supportive, but she's treating this is like a job for her, right?
Right.
And she's got to do it the right way. So yeah, really quirky character. does a decent job. I don't know too many other things. We'll have to check out that streaming show that Jenna was talking about and see how she does over
Hmm.
there. So I'm moving on to Woody Harrelson's his role, Hey Mitch Abernathy. Again, everybody's got crazy names here, right? So so
Yeah.
uh, so what do you think about how he did here as Hey Mitch, Mike?
I thought he was perfect for the role. I love Woody Harrelson in general, and he was for me he was tied with President Snow as my favorite character because I never go for the obvious main. The main character is always going to be your favorite if you like the movie or they didn't do an effective job. But Woody Harrelson is so good at anything he does. And I would never have guessed how his career would go when he started off as the bartender from Cheers way back in the 80s.
Yeah,
Like if you'd have told me he would have done everything he's done, I'd been like, yeah, there's no way because he was so good at that character playing the goofy uh, kind of out of his element, fish out of water character that you really thought that's who Woody Harrelson was.
yeah,
He was so good at it.
yeah. How do you like him here, Jenna?
I love him. I think he plays this role so good. He's their mentor. He's supposed to be mentoring him because he's the only other one that's won from District 12, technically. Um, and he's supposed to be mentoring him, but he's just
Yeah,
drinking bourbon, keeps just
Uh,
drinking, and kind of is like, helps them when he can, and he's just in a state. You can see that the games affect people, and the way that it's affected him is very apparent. And his movie actually is coming out in November of this year. They're doing a Hunger Games movie about his games.
oh, really?
And
oh, that's
yes,
awesome.
and so his is he was in the 50th Hunger Games, which they call those quarter quells,
Uh-huh.
25, 50, 75. So he had they always have a unique rule in those ones, and his was double the tributes, so four from each district. So he
Oh,
had to kill more people than anyone has had to kill in the Hunger Games.
yeah.
So he you can see that has affected him.
Uh-huh.
Other than the Hunger Games, I've seen him in Zombieland. I think that's what that's called. I think those are
Mhm.
the movies he's been
Yeah,
I
in.
haven't seen
And
that one.
yeah, those are good. And
Yeah.
Now You See Me movies, the magic
yeah.
Mhm.
movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love those movies.
Okay. So yeah, I think this is a good role for him. It seems to me he's always in roles like this, though. That sort of quirky personality, like it's almost like
Hmm.
he's playing himself. Like I feel like he's really going to be this type of person if you met him, right? I
Yeah.
don't know if that's true. Like, of course, I remember from Cheers, White Men Can't Jump was really funny
Hmm.
movie. And yeah, those zombie movies, I couldn't remember the names, but I know
Mhm.
there's a couple of them that he was in, right? So,
Yep.
so yeah, he does a good job. Quirky guy. I'm wondering this movie coming out, Jenna. I mean, is he going to be in it? Because with they're showing him as a kid, it's got to be someone else. Do they know who the actor is going to be?
Yeah, his name is Joseph Zeta. He's kind of a new and upcoming person. He was in a TV show called We Were Liars on Amazon Prime, I think.
Hmm.
But he looks like him, and they say he's like phenomenal. I think Woody's character is going to be in the end of it because they do like a
Yeah,
ending scene, flash
yeah,
forward kind of
yeah.
scene. So he's going to be in it at the end there.
Cool.
But yeah, it's supposed to be phenomenal. Elle Fanning's playing young Effie. There's like a lot of characters that come back as their younger selves in it.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. Very good. We're gonna move on to this was a surprise to me because I really like this character, Cinna.
Hmm.
This is Lenny Kravitz.
Oh
I
yeah.
had no idea. Like I watched the whole thing. I was like, this is a good actor.
Hmm.
Uh,
How did you like Lenny Kravitz playing this role, Jenna?
I love this character. I think Cinna really, as much as Haymitch and Effie help her out, I think Cinna is, at least in this movie, is her main support. I think he wants to see her thrive. I think he wants to see her in beautiful outfits and at least see her be a little bit happy before she has to go out and kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And I think he makes her into this symbol, the girl on fire, and he really makes that the symbol of the Hunger Games, and that carries throughout the whole entire series. I love. I I didn't know Lenny Kravitz acted. I'm not gonna lie. I know he's a musician, and I know his daughter acts, Zoe Kravitz, but I did not know that this was him. But he's amazing. I love
Yeah,
him.
there you go. There you go. Michael, your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I thought he was really good. I think he has so much charisma. And I remember I judged him too harshly, too quickly way back when he first came out, or when I remember him coming out. Because I remember him just as, oh, this is Lisa Bonet's husband. And I thought, oh, okay, he's trying to piggyback off her career. But then you see how talented he is. Like you said, as a musician, I loved his cover of American Woman, and a lot of the songs he did. And then to find out he's a really good actor too. So, yeah, I was totally wrong about him when he first came out. So great, great job in this one.
Yeah, he did good. Nice job. Proved himself to have acting talent. I thought the acting was
Yeah.
really good. Like he really was showing care for her, and just even just in his expressions and everything. Like right before
Hmm.
she goes up into the game, he's just there. Like, I mean, that was a really like close moment. He really wanted well for her. So
And very understated performance
yeah,
to be so effective.
exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, really good, and a great musician too. So okay, a few more characters here. Just the people running the show. Caesar Flickerman, Stanley Tucci. I just because my wife wanted me, I
Mhm.
just watched The Devil Wears Prada last night
Mm,
because she's like, well, number two's coming out. We have to watch it
Mhm.
again to refresh. I'm like,
yes,
okay, there was some
you
UFC on
have to.
people, but I have to turn it off. So how do you think Stanley Tucci does in this crazy role, Jenna?
I think he does really well. I think he embodies that, that commentator, that face that everybody sees when the games come on, right? He's some of the prequels of these movies, he's supposed to be in the new one coming out as a younger guy, so he's been announcing for a while. I think he's
Yeah,
been in that seat for quite a while since he was younger. So I think he just is used to that limelight, and I think he does it very well, even though he's a little outlandish.
yeah,
Mhm.
I've seen him actually in a movie called The Lovely Bones with Saoirse Ronan, and he plays not such a great character, the serial killer.
yeah.
And he actually like he didn't like he liked that role, but he was like it was a lot for him to like do, and I think he just plays a lot of different characters, and he does a good job playing anything. Like I
Yeah,
think he can play anything, and he just does phenomenal. I
yeah.
love him.
All right, all right, Michael. What do you got on Stanley?
Yeah, he's one of those character actors, like Jenna said, that can just he always makes a movie better, but he rarely, I'm trying to think of anything he's headlined, but he's always somebody they pull in. For me, yeah, this is like the perfect game show host, big wig, giant veneers. Uh, this may have been the first non-dramatic role I've seen him in. I mean, of course, the movie itself is an adventure drama, but his character is played more tongue in cheek, and it's almost like I don't know if this is resonates with y'all. It's like the character itself. He has no real soul, no real personality. He is just there to be the face of this show, and he's just there to entertain and to make it happen. But there doesn't seem to be a core of his character that we see, at least in this movie.
No, no, no. And it's funny, like in The Devil Wears Prada, he comes off as he's like who was that? Glenn Close, right?
Hmm.
He comes off as like one of her assistants who's like very sort of mean, just like she is, but then he helps the main star, right? And in the background, he's like, here, take these dresses, put these shoes on. And so
Hmm.
he shows himself to have feelings. In this one, he is just the game show host. The look reminds me of Liberace, Mike. You
Oh,
know
that
what
is
the
a good parallel. I had not thought about that.
he is the perfect, he does a great job, the perfect show host. I love, like, up on the stage behind him they have all these background shots of his face going, like he's just like smile.
Yeah.
That's so corny, but I was like, it fits so perfectly.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, he is great in this. Of course, I mentioned Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
There's also a on Nat Geo, I believe, an Italian food series
Mhm.
called Tucci on Italy or something like that.
Hmm.
It's great. I mean, I used to live in Italy when I was in the military. And so I'm like, oh, let me check this show out and watch it. And he's talking about the food from the different regions. He does a really
Mhm.
great job on that
He has
too.
a cookbook
Yeah.
actually
Oh,
out.
wow.
He
Does he?
does. Yes, he does. I've seen it before.
Yeah. So he does a great job. And he's in this series in Italy, speaks fluent
Mhm.
Italian with all these people. And so he does a great job. So, all right, moving on. Seneca Crane, this jerky guy here, played by Wes Bentley. Mike, how do you think he did here, and what else have you seen him in?
Yeah, great villain.
Yeah.
I love the beard, and that was his real beard. Uh, Wes Bentley just has this look and intensity that they're just always going to have him. He's either going to play the bad guy or a conflicted guy, complex bad guy. Because I've seen him. If y'all have seen the TV show Heroes, if I'm correct, he was the bad guy in that. Yellowstone, uh, he was like the bad guy that you felt kind of bad for in some way, shape, or form because he had a complicated childhood. But yeah, he's just got that look to him, almost like a predatory, the look in his eyes, like he is coming for you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And you looked up whether that was his real beard.
I did. I said, is that something they stuck on him? Like, no, he said, and he said when they were filming on location, I think it was North Carolina. He said he would go out with this beard to like Walmart and stuff in North Carolina. You can only imagine
Yeah.
in North Carolina, they're seeing this beard show up.
Yeah, that's crazy. So how do
Yeah.
you like this character, Jenna?
I think he fits the villain kind of the game maker. I think he he's so annoying in this. I don't know. I
Mhm.
like don't like him at all. I think he is weak as a game maker. I think
Mhm.
he um you know, I don't think I mean it's good that he is because he spares, basically Katniss and Peeta, he basically like lets them, end up winning together. He caves in, but I mean that has a lot of consequences for him because he ends up dead at the end of the movie, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
supposedly. But um I think he plays his character very well because I hate him. I think that was meant
Mhm.
to be his character. So he played that really well, and I've not seen him in anything else, honestly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's the sign that he's a good actor, though, because
Hmm.
if you hated him, right, he did a good job because he was supposed to be that type of guy. So he plays a great weasel. He got what he deserved in the end. The only thing that I remember, I know he was in other things like like you said, Yellowstone and things, but like I don't watch a lot of shows. But
Mhm.
I do remember him in Mission Impossible Fallout. He
Yeah.
played Tom Cruise's like wife's love interest, like because Tom Cruise had to split up from his wife to save her or
Mhm.
something in an earlier movie. But he's in there, it's a very small role, tiny
Yeah.
role, but that's the only thing I really knew him from. We're moving on to, but he does a good job here, and he is a good actor because I hated him too, Jenna. I agree with you 100%. Um, so President Coriolanus.
Coriolanus.
Whoa.
Coriolanus.
Yeah,
You got
so
it.
Snow, President Snow. We'll just go with that.
That's
How's that?
right. We're just going
Pl-
snowman.
Played by Donald Sutherland. Jenna, how do you like this character here?
Um, he's another one of those like he plays it so well that I hate him. He plays a bigger role in the future films. He's major in those.
Okay.
And he actually has a prequel that already came out in the movie theaters last year or 2 years ago. About his life when he was younger too. So that's a very interesting watch as
Oh, this
well.
character?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So so it shows you kind of how he became the way he is. And that's definitely a good watch. I'm not going to spoil anything for that, but
Nope.
um he, he's the president of Panem, the capital people, and he wants a show and he gets that. And I definitely think I don't like him at all. Like
Okay.
if you watch the other ones,
Mhm.
you would agree with me, but in this one he's a little bit more like low key.
Yeah.
You just see the beginning parts of an evil person, but um, he's he gets there. I haven't seen him in anything really, but I know his son, Kiefer Sutherland. He's in a
Yep.
bunch
Yeah.
of 80s, 90s movies.
Yep.
Lost Boys, one of my favorites.
Yep.
And also Flatliners.
Yep.
But Donald, I haven't really seen him,
Mhm.
and yeah. But recently he passed away, so rest in
Yeah.
peace, Donald.
Yes. Yes.
Check out Young Guns too. If you like Kiefer Sutherland, check out
Oh
Young
yeah.
Guns.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah.
All right, Michael. How do you like Donald Sutherland here?
Yeah, he's just one of those guys. He's good in anything he's done. Like Jenna said, it's a shame he's gone. Because he just got better with age, I think. He started off good. I think about the early movies, Dirty Dozen. He was in the Dirty Dozen. He was in MASH, the movie, that there wouldn't have been a TV show if it hadn't been for the movie. Donald Sutherland, Elliot Gould. He was a professor in Animal House. He was
Yep.
in The Italian Job, and a movie that Steve has heard me talk about before. And this is not like an Academy Award winning movie, but I think it's a good movie for people to watch. Max Dugan Returns.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, I loved every scene that President Snow was in because even though he's the villain, he's the bad guy, uh, you just can't take your eyes off of him. He's such a compelling bad guy.
Yeah, yeah. So nice work for the small but important part.
Yeah.
Love him. Yeah, Kelly's Heroes is my favorite character he plays. He plays Oddball, a tank commander in
Yeah.
World War II. Kelly's Heroes with Clint Eastwood, Telly Savalas in that. Don Rickles, everybody is in that.
Mhm.
That movie is great.
Yeah.
An old sort of drunk, burnt out lawyer in A Time to Kill, but it's a good part. He plays a pyromaniac who's incarcerated and backdraft. I mean, he can just play anything. He's wild. I would love for both of you if you have you seen Kelly's Heroes, Mike?
I have. Now,
Yeah.
surprisingly, I had not seen it up until maybe 9 or 10 years ago, but I had a boss I told her about the Dirty Dozen. She said, "That's good, but you need to go watch Kelly's Heroes."
Yeah, yeah. So he does such a good job in that. He's like plays like it's set in World War II. It's in the 40s. He plays like a beatnik, right? Like the
Yeah.
hippie before the hippies. Like
Hmm.
it's crazy. He does a great job. So definitely check that out, Jenna. That's your assignment.
Okay.
Kelly's
I'll
Heroes.
Kelly's Heroes. Got it.
All right. So, okay, we do this every time. What is your favorite part or scene, Jenna? What do you got? Tell us about
I
it.
don't know if you would guess this is my favorite part, but my favorite part of this whole movie, it's a little small part, but it's when they're evaluating them for like their score, kind of how strong they are, kind of just how,
Sure.
evaluating them. And Katniss is being evaluated, and she shoots her bow and arrow, and she misses. So the game maker and the other capital people stop watching and go about their day and talk with each other. Then she shoots another one and she gets it bullseye, and none of them are paying attention to her. But then she she shoots it through, they're having pig for like lunch or whatever, and there's an
Yeah.
apple
Hmm.
between the mouth of the pig, and she shoots the apple and gets it, and that like shocks them. So I think that's like the start of her, like, I don't think there's ever been really someone who has as much like willingness to go against what they're saying yet, and this shows like that
Hmm.
um she's going against what their rules and all that, and she's standing up, and she's a strong character. And I love how she bows and says thank you for your consideration,
Yeah.
and Haymitch's reaction to that whole thing is
Hmm.
phenomenal. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yep. Yep. Perfect. Very good. Very good. Michael, what do you got here?
No, Jenna nailed it. That's such an iconic scene. I could watch that over and over. It is so good. So I'll just say, other than that, as I mentioned before, any scene with President Snow, just because I love Donald Sutherland in that role. But definitely, if I had to pick one scene, it's the shooting the apple.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Very good. So, yeah, for me, it was the entire wasp scene from inception when Rue points it out till she saws it and she's getting stung and then she's
Hmm.
having hallucinations. And the whole thing. And then like you're like dying. I get sucked in. I'm like, pick up the bow, take the
Uh-huh.
arrows and run. Like I'm like yelling at the TV. Like it's like you really get into it. It
Yeah.
sucked me in that part. Um, and so I love that whole sequence. I give an honorable mention. I put shooting the apple too as well.
Mhm.
And I couldn't remember here in my notes. I was going to put what she said. I couldn't remember exactly, but that's it. Thank
That's
you for your
really good too.
consideration. And she gives a little
Hmm.
Mhm.
a curtsy, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, that was great too. So very good. But every movie's not perfect, Michael. A lot of movies have a stupid scene. What do you have here, Mike? What's your least favorite part or your stupidest scene here?
Yeah, and I did because I really liked the movie end to end. So I was looking for something, and then it struck me. I was like, what is it that if I could take something out, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's the thing that least resonated with me, and it was the whole love triangle between Katniss, Peeta, and her boyfriend back at home, played by
Gale.
Liam Hemsworth. Um, I understand it added to the overall complexity and layers of this story, but I was so drawn into a lot of the other relationships more, even the relationship between Katniss and Peeta, the relationship between that sister relationship between Katniss and the little girl. So I was like, if I could get rid of one thing that you could probably get rid of that, at least for me, and it would still be an awesome movie.
Yeah, yeah. Small little part that, yeah, it would be the same move. I think it would be fine without it. I agree. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Jenna, what do you got? I know sometimes this is hard for the super fan
Yeah.
because they're like, I love everything.
Jenna said, "You are crazy,
Yeah.
Mike."
Well, I hate to say it to you, Mike, but that triangle keeps going throughout the whole entire
Oh,
series. So
Jesus.
that doesn't end. That's a big thing. You know how like Twilight was Team Edward, Team Jacob, it's Team
Oh,
Gale or Team
Lord.
Peeta. You know, many
Yeah.
people pick Peeta though, because Gale is very annoying
Mhm.
towards the end. But my least favorite part, I would it's the it's an important scene. It's not a stupid scene at all. I think just it's my least favorite part because I hate it so much is Rue's death.
Mhm.
I it it breaks me every single time. It's so sad. You know, that's like almost like her sister. Like she was
Yeah.
trying to protect this little girl. I know I'm getting all sappy, but
Mhm.
it is probably my least favorite. I know they all have to like there has to be just like one winner, but I knew she was
Sure.
gonna die. But it's just still very sad the way it happened.
Yeah.
So.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. All right. Very good. Very good.
Mhm.
So every part where PETA hangs with the bad group, I hate it because
Uh,
here's what he should have done when they're like, oh,
uh,
this way, chasing someone and they're
uh.
running. He's in the back with the spear. He could take at least two of them out
Right,
before.
you're like, at least take out
Yeah,
the strongest one.
yeah. I mean, the two in the back, he could take that.
Yeah.
He could take them out, because those others were running so far ahead, they're faster, bigger, stronger, and so
Uh,
he could have killed those two and then just disappeared, turned around and ran. And
yeah.
then
Yeah.
suddenly it's like there's Katniss out there and then there's Peeta out there with a spear. Now it's sort of even, right? 2-1-2.
Mhm.
But he doesn't. He doesn't. He just goes along with it. Like he could have done it when they're all sleeping too, around like they're sleeping, someone's pulling guard, but the guard falls asleep or whatever. And like they're like, oh, you stay awake, make sure no one sneaks up on us. Well, why don't I just stab all four of you right now then? I don't get it. I think it's stupid, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna give a big dishonorable mention to Peeta's overhand weight throw with the huge like kettlebell thing. Dude,
Yeah.
I have had both of my shoulders completely reconstructed by my
Uh,
rotator cuffs. That movement, like I thought
mhm.
he starts swinging. I said,
Yeah.
oh, he's going to like underhand bowling ball it. That
Mhm.
makes sense. What he did, physically impossible to do.
Yeah. You could feel that in your shoulders, couldn't you, Steve?
Yes. I was like, oh my God, there's no way. That's impossible.
Swinging like the flower. That's his
Hmm.
Yeah.
skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's some big, strong guy. Whatever. Don't believe it.
Steve said, I know what happens with rotator cuffs.
I know, man. Oh, it's killing me. So, okay. Additional comments on this movie, Michael. What do you have here?
Yeah. Interesting trivia. Jenna probably already knows about this, and anybody that speaks Latin is going to say, Mike, that's not the way you pronounce that. But the phrase that they used to name the place Panem, Panem et circenses, is Latin for bread and circuses, which was a Latin phrase coined by the Roman poet Juvenal around 100 AD to describe the superficial state-provided appeasement used to keep the populace complacent, and it signified the government's use of free food and entertainment to distract the citizens from political, social, and economic problems. So I thought it's interesting that they chose a name that is the definition of what politically and socially and everything is happening in the
Yeah,
story.
very good,
So
man.
it kind of tips you off.
Yeah.
I did want to ask Jenna, just in terms of, because now she's seen the movies, she has read the books. Jenna, what jumps out at you the most in terms of maybe are there any big plot points or reveals that were in the book and didn't make it to the movie?
Mm, not that I remember. I think they just dumbed down the detail a lot. I think there's
Hmm.
a lot more detail in a book, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, I know that all the prequels have books too now. So every single one has a book. The prequels also have books now. I think they've been pretty accurate. I think that's what people like about it,
Hmm.
that it's pretty accurate to the books. I think this just the details are a little bit dumbed down, just because there's a lot more.
Sure.
They explain like her dad, Katniss's dad, a lot more in the books,
Hmm.
and kind of like how he died and all that kind of stuff, and a little bit more about the districts and a little bit more detail about certain things like that. But I think the movie just, puts the main parts in there, and it really does a good job.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Very good. So, Jenna, any additional comments, things we haven't discussed that you would like to bring up about this movie as the super fan?
No, just go watch the other ones too. The second one's my favorite. I love Catching Fire. I think that's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's the best. Just I think that this movie, it really shows you kind of like the power dynamic. Really, definitely shows you like how awful a world can become under distress like this, and just that these poor kids are being like thrown into these awful games, killing each other. I just but I just think they do a very good job of portraying something like that in these movies. I love these movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well said
Hmm.
from the super fan.
Hmm.
Listen, I got to tell you, 142 minutes. It's too long. I'm going to say this. I
Uh,
feel like though I understand this though, because this is like
Hmm.
the long detail and the buildup. It was for the fans of the book because
mhm.
people like Jenna said, they're really complimenting the movie. Like, yeah, they stuck pretty close to the books, and people who are like really fanatics about certain of these types of books and the movies. I know that's important to them. The idea of this movie interesting, although unbelievable to me. It would have been adults that no people wouldn't do that. Oh, take these young kids,
Hmm.
Rue, you're not going to put her in a life or death situation in games. So
That does make it much more horrifying though when
it
they're doing that
does,
to,
but if I'm thinking people in real life,
yeah.
someone would put a quash on that, be like, okay, we can't do
Yeah.
it with kids.
Yeah.
People are going to freak out, right? So I'd say get to the damn games, right?
Mhm.
Um, at least it wasn't as long as like the 2 movies it took for the last Harry Potter book, the
Yeah.
Deathly Hollows. Come on, like that's ridiculous. I don't care if you made a 900-page book.
Mhm.
We don't need two movies, and those movies are long. It's like 5 hours, or if you put them together.
Yeah.
Or worse yet, The Hobbit. The Hobbit was a
Mhm.
book I read when I was in the 7th grade, and I took my sons to see it because they're Lord of the Rings fans and stuff,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh, the Hobbit movie's coming out." I go to the Hobbit, and I'm sitting in this movie theater, and I know the story from the book. And I know Rankin and Bass could make a cartoon of this for The Hobbit that fit in like 48 minutes with 12 minutes for commercials that they showed on TV back in the day. And here we go. It's like I'm
Mhm.
looking at my watch in the movie theater. I'm like, well, they're not even like in Mirkwood Forest yet, and we've been here 2 hours.
Steve said, I don't have time for this kind of thing.
And then my son's like, well, yeah, there's 3 movies. I was like, 3 movies? Are you kidding me? That's from one book. That come on,
Mhm.
come on.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. They're just trying to make more movies, make more money. It's killing me. So you got to do it in 2 hours or less. The build up, like I said, to the game's way too long, but it wasn't as bad as the build up for Dune. You can tell I'm getting my frustration out on a lot of stories
Hmm.
here. The first movie, the whole first movie of Dune was the build up. And one little thing happens at the end, and then they're like, oh, wait for the next movie. The
Hmm.
next movie is all action. It's just crazy, man.
Yeah, to your point though, Steve, on that, and I have not seen it, but they said, and I have not read Dune, but I understand it's a huge book. And
Yes.
from my understanding, the first time they made Dune with Sting in it, they
Yeah.
tried to fit all that story into like an hour and a half, 2 hour movie.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and you can't, and
yeah,
not to trash on Dune here, but
sure.
Frank Herbert, who wrote that, like, okay, like the whole first movie, I'm like have to have my sons there interpreting. Oh, this
Uh-huh.
group does this, and this people, oh, that's not from that group. No, no, they're different groups, and then there's a
Yeah,
third group, and I'm like, come on, man, like
yeah. You need a
you need to
diagram.
bring me into context. I should be able to like watch the movie, like, okay, Hunger Games, I watch the movie and I see, okay, like I get what's going on here. Or
Hmm.
like I get it. There's going to be games now.
Yeah.
Now I understand it. Get to it, right? But anyway,
Yeah.
that's for me. That's my comment here. So,
Hmm.
all right. So, Jenna, we always say, why would you watch it if there's not a message, a lesson, or some
Mhm.
moral of the story that you can take away? What is the moral of this story or the lesson you take away from this, Jenna?
I think there's a power dynamic. These people, you know, uh, during the war because they rebelled that they're out in these districts now, poorer districts or out further. I
Hmm.
think because of that, got to throw the kids into the arena now, and it's like a punishment type of situation. And I think that's how the capital keeps them close and keeps them within their grasp. And I can see that power dynamic just all throughout all of the movies. And I think Katniss does a good job of trying to break that, and she'll continue to try and do that because I think she just wants the best for her family, and she loves her sister and her mom too, and all her friends. But I think that she's a very true and loyal person to her family and to helping better everybody's situation.
Okay.
I
All
just
right.
love it. Love it.
All right. So you're seeing like, and there's a lot of connection to the world today. Like someone who would
Mhm.
be like Katniss could help other people's situations, be true to their family. That's the important stuff in life, huh?
Yes.
So all right, very good. She did pretty good there, Mike. What do
Oh,
you got?
yeah.
What do you got?
That was nice. Um, Kind of like Jenna, I saw it on a couple of different levels. I was looking at it like on an individual level, like Katniss, where the adversity really shows us, or showed Katniss in this case, what she's capable of, both and depending upon the character, it showed what they're capable of, both in the best and the worst ways. And Katniss was able to overcome her own fear and her self-doubt because of how much she cared about her family. Like Jenna said, primarily her sister. Um, and then when you look at the big picture, the message seemed to be for Pan Am to create a system that could control the masses and give them enough hope to keep them gainfully employed, but not so much hope that see overthrowing the system as viable or realistic. Because it seemed like, yeah, we need these outlying regions, but we're just going to use them for, the workers and the resources. But other than that, we don't want to hear from them.
Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, for me, message: stay loyal to family and friends. That's what Jenna said. I'd say also learn how to survive in the woods. She never
Mm.
makes it out of there. Learn how to be
Mhm.
self-sufficient. Government sucks, right?
Yeah.
And the future is bleak. That's sort of
Yeah.
what I'm taking from this movie.
It's a feel good
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. So not a lot of feel good that I'm getting from it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
stuff that we all have to deal with. So um you're going to tell people, I know, Jenna, you're the super fan. You think people, if they haven't seen this, they should watch it or not even take the time? I pretty much think I know what you're going to say here.
100% should watch it, and you should watch the other ones that come out too.
Okay.
Anything related to Hunger Games, because it's a story. It gives you the other ones give you background, and they give you it's a whole entire world that Suzanne created, um, and it's crazy. the detail that goes into this story, and 100%
Okay.
watch.
All right. All right. Michael.
Absolutely worth a watch. Uh, One thing Jenna and I have in common, I love dystopian stories, whether it's books, whether it's movies. I love The Matrix. There's a movie coming out based on a book. I don't know whether it's coming out this year or next year, 1 Second After.
Mm.
And that's good. It's based on an EMP, but there are so many elements that are woven into the story. I can see things that remind me of everything from The Lord of the Flies to 1984. Definitely a lot of things you read about Rome before the collapse. Also, the sharp line between the haves and the have-nots. And I was surprised at how much I enjoyed watching it again. Like I said, I remember the first time I liked it, but I was like, I don't know if I'll rewatch this. But I think getting older, I'm gonna have to admit, it was so many details and plot points that I could no longer remember.
All
I don't
right.
know whether
All
that's
right.
good or bad, but that really added to enjoying watching again. So without getting too much into the sequels, some of the later movies, I don't know if you agree or not, Jenna, but they definitely had, if you've seen The Matrix before,
Mhm.
it had a Matrix feel to me, not necessarily the exact plot, but the feel of it that the first movie didn't have.
Yeah, definitely. I would
All
agree
right.
with that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But The Matrix, by the way, as far as the series goes, every other movie but the first one sucks. So
Absolutely.
they're
But the first
terrible.
one was
The first
incredible.
one was great. I
Yeah.
watched that and I was like, who came up with this idea? Like
Yeah.
it's crazy, right?
It was so multi-layered.
I've only seen the first one a
Yeah.
Yeah,
little
Yeah.
bit, and I don't
that's
even
the
remember.
only one you need to see.
Yeah. Don't bother. Don't bother moving
Okay.
on. It's trash. So all right. So I would say if you haven't seen it, watch it at least once. It has entertaining parts, but it's long. Be prepared to sit for a while. That's my advice to you. So we're going to move on to our ratings. So it's, as a reminder to you, Jenna, terrible movie, worst of the worst is a bathroom break. You don't even need to be in a room. Below average, no snacks. Maybe you're scrolling through your phone or reading a book while the movie's on, right? Average movie, sip a Coke while you watch the movie. Better than average, Coke and some popcorn. And if it's the best movie ever, Coke, popcorn. For me, it's a box of Raisinets, but for you, it would be whatever your favorite movie candy was. What's your favorite movie candy, Jenna?
Milk duds.
Milk Duds. All right, all
Oh,
right,
wow.
very good. So okay. I think I know what you're going to say since you're a super fan, Jenna. But what's your rating?
Yes, I am very biased in this, but I would rate it a Coke, popcorn, and a box of
Goober.
milk duds.
Milk duds.
Definitely
All right,
10 out of 10. Love
all
the
right,
movie.
all right. Very good, Michael.
Yeah. I'm not quite as high on that, but I would say a Coke and a popcorn. But since this is the Hunger Games, I'm going to say roast chicken with orange sauce. And I think Katniss drank a hot chocolate. So I'll have a hot chocolate.
Okay,
Yeah,
and that is better than average.
that is right. It is
Okay,
definitely better than average movie.
okay. I'm gonna go with a Coke and a small popcorn.
Oh, small one.
Small. So like not the big bucket,
Yeah,
not the
B
big bucket.
minus.
A small popcorn because it's got entertaining parts, but man, it's too long. And I want it to be under 2 hours, man. Come on now.
Well, I got to ask you, Steve,
Yeah.
and I'm sure Jenna is wondering the same thing.
Yes.
Are you ever going to go the next step and watch at least the first sequel?
No. So
Oh,
Oh my
uh,
God.
you have to. It's so
Oh
good.
yeah.
At
oh,
least watch Catching Fire.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
oh
Hmm.
man. When Jordan was on here, she was talking about how she loves Pitch Perfect too, and
Yeah.
my wife was like, "I'll watch that," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to. Come
Yeah, the
on."
second one of Pitch Perfect is pretty good
Oh,
too.
Yeah. We're gonna watch that when the price comes down. I'm not
Okay.
paying right now it's like $15 or
yeah,
something.
I'm still stabbing myself in the leg like the guy in Platoon when you made me pay for Mr. Mom, bro.
Oh,
That thing's
that is a
terrible.
classic.
Terrible. All right. So, all right. Well, we got our ratings. I think we wrapped that one up pretty good. Everybody, thanks for listening to Gonzo, Mike, and a VCR. We want to thank Jenna for being on the podcast. We love having you on, Jenna.
Absolutely.
What parting words of wisdom do you have for us?
Just keep watching what Mike and Gonzo does. Just keep watching them. You do a phenomenal job rating movies. I love it.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you. So if you enjoyed it, please follow or subscribe. We appreciate it. We would love it if you'd share the show too with someone who's a fellow movie lover or maybe even an 80s or 90s enthusiast. If you have a movie you'd like us to watch, or if you're a super fan like Jenna and you want to be a guest, or maybe you have a comment, or even if you'd like to tell us what your favorite radio station was in the 80s or whenever you grew up, would yours be, Mike?
K92 FM.
K92 FM. What are we
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about here?
Well, I was going to ask, this is probably just something
Are you
people did in
talking
the
about like
80s.
WKRP in Cincinnati?
No, but tell me, I'm probably the only, my buddies and I would find people's phone numbers we knew, and we'd call up them or their parents, and we'd be like, hi, this is Vince the Prince from K92 FM, and if you give us the phrase it pays, you'll
Yeah.
win free Two Boys to Men tickets. And they'd be like, K92 is my favorite radio station. I'd be like, that's right. And then we'd bang pots and pans and just hang up on them. And then later that week, you'd ask them, say, they'd be telling everybody in school about it. Say, man, I wonder how you get those tickets.
Yeah, you remember the guy JB we had on for After Hours, my buddy from high school. He used to call people up. He used to crank call, and someone would pick up the phone, and he'd be like, "This is Joe's Pizza and Lunch. May I take your order?"
Mm-hmm.
And like some people were like you'd hear the weirdest silence, and then sometimes like people like, I didn't call you. He's like, ma'am, we're very busy here. Can I take your order, please?
Right.
And he just came up with his name, Joe's Pizza and Lunch. That
That's
was
magical.
the name of the.
I love that.
He could string people along on that. I don't know how, but anyway,
that is fantastic.
It's crazy. So anyway, if you want to do any of those things, shoot us an email at gonzomikevcr@gmail.com. That's GONZOMIKEVCR@gmail.com. I'm checking that once daily. Additionally, feel free to leave comments on your platform. Spotify, Apple, YouTube will respond to those as well. We've added some polls on Spotify if you're a Spotify listener. So chime in on those. Let us know your thoughts. In our next episode, we have another super fan. We're going back to 1991 to look at a cult classic action film starring Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. Tell them what it is, Mike.
Oh, this is one of those incredible movies from the 90s that they made the huge mistake of trying to remake, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. Don't even bother. It is Point Break.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yes. It's awesome. So I'm looking forward to that one. That's a great movie. It's incredible. So, well, folks, looks like that's a wrap. I'm Gonzo.
I'm Mike.
Until next time. Keep watching movies. Gonzo, Mike, and VCR is produced by Gonzo and Mike. All rights reserved.
Gonzo, Mike, and a VCR. Press rewind, they're the movie stars.